Who was Hormuz? The tiny Persian kingdom that gave the Strait of Hormuz its name. Every day, hundreds of massive oil tankers and cargo ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz, carrying roughly 1/5 of the world's seaborne oil and a significant portion of its liquefied natural gas. A disruption in this narrow passage can send global energy prices soaring and affect economies across every continent. Because the strait is so frequently mentioned in modern geopolitics, many people assume that Hormuz was the name of a Persian king or simply refers to the waterway itself. The truth is far more fascinating. The Strait of Hormuz takes its name from the medieval kingdom of Hormuz, a remarkably wealthy Persian trading state that once controlled the entrance to the Persian Gulf. Although small in territory, Hormuz became one of the richest commercial centers on Earth, earning a reputation among travelers as one of the greatest marketplaces of the medieval world. For nearly 6 centuries, its rulers grew wealthy not through conquest or vast agricultural lands, but by controlling one of history's most valuable maritime crossroads. The origins of Hormuz date back to around the 10th century, when merchants established a prosperous port known today as Old Hormuz on the southern Persian coast, near present-day Minab in Iran. Its location was ideal. It stood where maritime trade from the Indian Ocean entered the Persian Gulf before, continuing north toward Mesopotamia and Persia. Every merchant sailing between India, Arabia, East Africa, Persia, and eventually Europe recognized the importance of this strategic harbor. Unlike many kingdoms that depended upon fertile farmland or mineral wealth, Hormuz built its economy almost entirely on international trade. Merchant ships arrived carrying Indian spices, Chinese silk and porcelain, Arabian horses, Persian carpets, African ivory, pearls from the Persian Gulf, incense from southern Arabia, precious gemstones from Sri Lanka, textiles from Gujarat, and luxury goods from Southeast Asia. Customs duties, harbor taxes, and commercial fees transformed Hormuz into one of the wealthiest cities in the Islamic world. The kingdom's rulers wisely understood that controlling commerce could generate more wealth than conquering neighboring lands. Instead of maintaining enormous armies, they invested in ports, warehouses, markets, fortifications, and diplomatic relationships with neighboring states. Merchants from dozens of cultures could safely conduct business under Hormuz's protection, making the city one of the world's earliest truly international commercial hubs. During the 13th century, however, the Mongol invasions transformed much of Western and Central Asia. Although Old Hormuz escaped complete destruction, repeated raids and regional instability convinced its rulers that remaining on the mainland had become increasingly dangerous. Around 1300, the kingdom made one of the most remarkable decisions in medieval. During the 13th century, however, the Mongol invasions transformed much of Western and Central Asia. Although Old Hormuz escaped complete destruction, repeated raids and regional instability convinced its rulers that remaining on the mainland had become increasingly dangerous. Around 1300, the kingdom made one of the most remarkable decisions in medieval history. Rather than defend an exposed mainland city, the rulers abandoned Old Hormuz entirely and relocated their capital to nearby Jarun Island, a rocky and largely barren island located directly beside the narrow entrance to the Persian Gulf. The island soon became known simply as Hormuz. At first glance, the move seemed irrational. The island possessed little fresh water, almost no farmland, and few natural resources. Drinking water often had to be transported from the mainland, and food imports became essential. Yet strategically, the decision was brilliant. The surrounding sea provided a powerful natural defense against invading armies, while the island's location allowed Hormuz to dominate virtually every ship entering or leaving the Persian Gulf. Instead of defending a vulnerable land frontier, the kingdom transformed itself into an almost impregnable maritime fortress. The gamble paid off spectacularly. By the 14th and 15th centuries, Hormuz had become one of the wealthiest cities on Earth. Contemporary travelers described enormous markets overflowing with imported luxury goods from every corner of the known world. The famous Moroccan traveler Ibn Battuta visited Hormuz during the 14th century and praised its commercial importance. noting the extraordinary number of merchants and ships arriving from distant lands. Later, Portuguese explorer Duarte Barbosa described Hormuz as one of Asia's richest ports, where merchants from Persia, India, Arabia, East Africa, and even China exchanged enormous fortunes in goods every day. Its rulers became fabulously wealthy through taxation rather than conquest. Hormuz collected customs duties on virtually everything entering or leaving the Persian Gulf. Every merchant carrying silk from China, spices from India, pearls from Bahrain, horses from Arabia, carpets from Persia, ivory from East Africa, or precious stones from Sri Lanka contributed to the kingdom's treasury. In many ways, Hormuz functioned as the Singapore or Dubai of the medieval world. The kingdom also became famous for one of its most valuable exports, Arabian and Persian horses. Indian rulers paid enormous sums for high-quality war horses because breeding suitable cavalry horses in much of India proved difficult due to climate. Hormuz merchants became major suppliers of these prized animals, adding another source of immense wealth. The city's population reflected its international character. Persians lived alongside Arabs, Indians, Africans, Armenians, Turks, Jews, and merchants from many other regions. Numerous languages could be heard in its crowded markets.